it's time for us to turn our attention to the refereeing decisions during this Euros, and especially some of the decisions we saw yesterday. So join us on the show is former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher. Good evening, Dermot.
Good evening, Madge. How you doing?
Yeah, very well indeed, of course. Exciting that we're in a final and it could be finally coming home. But it could have been very different because, of course, we got to start with the penalty decision that happened yesterday. First and foremost, just straight away from the outset, before VAR, did you think it was a penalty?
No. No, I
Just
didn't.
Told you.
Oh, Jermaine, if I'd have given a penalty against you for that, you'd never spoke to me again.
Oh, I never spoke to you again, never spoke to you again, mate.
What about after they went to the screen? Did you, once it slowed down and you saw it, did you still feel it wasn't a penalty?
There was a couple of things, Madge. Honestly, I didn't think it was a penalty, first of all. It never crossed my mind. You know, it's one of them decisions, it happens, and you just think, oh, he's going to give a goal kick. It never crossed my mind that any other decision be given. When I see there was a review, I thought, well, this will just be sent away. When he was sent to the screen, I was stunned, because the one thing you would say, whether you agree it's a penalty or not, it's certainly not a clear and obvious error.
No.
And that's the thing in the Euros that they've been really hard and fast on, that they want it to be something that leaps out and goes, that just doesn't look right. And I think the VAR, by and large, has worked really well at the Euros.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. When he went to the screen, even when he went to the screen, I thought he was going to look at it and go, no, I'm going to, dismiss this.
As I said to you, Jay Affair, about me looking at it, his studs were up. He goes into Harry. If that was anywhere else on the field, Dermot, would you give that as a free kick?
Well, see, this is different. I heard Gary Neville talking last night, and he said, there's no doubt about it. We always get this argument. If it was outside the penalty area, you get a different decision. Well, the ramifications are so much more in the penalty area, and that's why referees, there's no doubt about it. It's easy to give a free kick on the halfway line because it goes away. If it's a 50-50, it goes away, it gets washed away. In the penalty area, it's got to mean something. A game like that, the magnitude of that game, semi-final of the Euros, the referee didn't give it. He thought it wasn't a penalty. I think for the VAR to get involved, it's got to be one that you go, wow, that just doesn't look right. And it certainly didn't fall into that category for me.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And what it is that there's not a rule in the book that says that you are not allowed to block a shot. You're not allowed to raise a foot to block a shot, which he did. He didn't engage or go to close Harry down. He stood his ground, put his leg up. Harry took the shot, and then the follow through connected with Dumfries.
And I think you've hit the nail on the head, Joe. It's the follow through that's connected with him.
Split second afterwards, but it's after the shot.
Yeah, who's kicked who?
Yeah.
As I say, if that's a Premier League game, August 17, I would be staggered.
Yeah.
If we're talking on the Monday after and we've seen a penalty like that, I'd be absolutely staggered.
But we'll take it. We'll take it.
Even with the fact that the studs are raised, look, because I'm watching it back here as we're talking, and this is the problem with VAR. Everything looks worse in slow motion, doesn't it?
It does. And that's...
Looking at that, it looks like he goes into Harry with his foot up, with his stud showing, and it almost looks like dangerous play. But that again is on the basis of it being slowed down on VAR, though.
Yeah, and I think that was the brilliant thing they did with the VAR halfway through the season when they started to alter in the Premier League. They said when the referee goes to the screen, the first images he's got to see is at natural speed.
Yes,
because when you show a still picture or a slow motion, it gives a jaundiced view, and it already plants that seed in the referee's head. Where if you see it at natural speed, you've got this, oh yeah, it looks like that, bang, whatever. He can then take into his mind, this is what I've seen, yeah, make his judgment. But I think that does alter it.
What about the possible goal that England could have had later on before he scored the goal from Saka? What was that offside? Was that clear and obvious? I thought he was in line. I think Walker, it looked like he was in line with the defender.
Yeah, offside, Madge, is slightly different, isn't it? There's no clear and obvious error. It is or it isn't. And we had this slight tolerance level in the Premier League, but I think people are they want it semi-automated. Say, oh, it looks great in the Champions League. We see the images, we see this, that, and the other, and it is. It's quicker, it's slicker. it's more accurate, but it will take off more goals because it will catch that little piece. And when you see that, when you saw the images afterwards, it's so tight. Look at the Lukaku one when De Bruyne played a brilliant through ball in the finish. You know, if he was wearing size 7 boots instead of size 9, he was onside.
It was indeed.
Yeah. So, do you think it will minimise the controversy though surrounding VAR when it comes to the Premier League next season?
Well, the offside, I think, Jermaine, will be brilliant because it will be much quicker. That's one of the big bugbears, isn't it? The amount of time it takes for complicated offsides. There will be the odd rogue one where there is a lot of moving parts, if you like, but basically it'll be much quicker, very accurate. The images will be portrayed to the screen very quickly, so the communication is much better. So I think that's better. But the decisions regarding like Harry Kane and Dumfries, that will run forever and a day, isn't it? Because it's subjective.
Yeah.
And each of us sees things slightly different.
Yeah. Is there anything that's going to change with that ruling? Have you heard, like, the literal millimeters? Is there anything in the pipeline, or is that's just the rules?
For the offside?
Yeah.
Offside would just be offside. It will be,
Doesn't matter how.
as we saw. I mean, I quote the Lukaku one because you were a forward and you run, and so it's like, when I saw that, I thought, oh, he's definitely onside. He's arched his run. When you saw the images afterward, and I don't say it to take the mickey, his big toe was offside. And like,
yeah, it's got to be changed to my like.
And just quickly, Dermot, what have you made of the overall standard of refereeing at the Euros so far?
I've liked the way they've let more go. I think, all right, there's been the odd feisty game where there's been a rash of yellow cards. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I think it was 15 in one game. But I think by and large, they've let the game flow a lot more. On-field decisions have been made, and the VAR, what I've really liked, they've only intervened when I say, apart from the one last up where people go, wow, that doesn't look right, and that's what you want. It's one where you go, oh, that can't be right, have a look. And even if the referee then goes and has a look for me and comes back and says, no, I'm sticking with my decision, I'd rather have that than live in a world where you have this doubt, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you very much. That was former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher, who thought it was never a penalty, just like you, Jermaine. But this is the kind of luck that we're talking about in a major competition that sometimes you need. And often, England haven't got that rub of the green. You go back to Euro 96, there's always a tournament I think of as a young kid. That night against Germany, we scored first. Shearer, great goal. Then Stefan Kuntz equalised.
Lampard, where he hit the bar over the line, which could have changed the course of that game.
Even like in 98, Sol Campbell scores a valid goal against Argentina. It was chalked off. There's been, and didn't he do it again against Portugal in the Euro 2000? There's been so many times where we've been so unlucky. Rooney getting sent off and Ronaldo with the wink. There's been so many things over the years that maybe, just maybe, we have that luck this time. Maybe it's our turn. Maybe Lady Luck works like that and says, hey, it's your chance and your turn to have it. I hope so. I'm hoping so.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.